Winter time is here. We're gonna give you the top 3 baits to fish with in February when winter time is going on. That's right, I guarantee you one of these 3 is gonna work for you and gonna work wherever you are. So let's jump right into it, but I'm not gonna tell you the obvious one first. This is kind of like an obvious one, I guess. We'll go lipless bait, number 1. Lipless bait, that's right, I've got a shad color. What in the world am I talking about? Everybody else is throwing a red one. So definitely if your water is a little bit clearer wherever you're fishing, don't hesitate to throw the shad colors. This is Old Glory. Anything that's really reflective, you know, the chrome blue, anything that's real reflective, I really like it. This is the Spro Aruku shad. I like that bait because it would stand up on the bottom when you let it settle. It doesn't fall over, it floats, the rear of it floats, so you can yo-yo it off the bottom. That is a big key in that February time period. Take that thing, you can cover flats in the back of pockets, you can cover secondary points. Anywhere that you find grass, you wanna fish the isolated clumps, the points of the grass where it leads out towards the main channel possibly. Anywhere that it makes a difference, you know, a ditch, anything that's different in that grass, that is where you wanna run that lipless bait through. You just wanna rip it, get it in the edge of that grass, rip it out, let that thing fall back down. That is when the magic happens. Typically it's better in the like mid-morning on, especially in the afternoon. Sometimes you'll fish in a good area with a lipless bait in February, not get bit, go back in the afternoon and crush them. So that is something. I like having a rod that's more of a moderate action. I think they get the bait better, but you need to still have enough power in the rod so that you can get the hooks in there good, because their mouths are typically hard in February. I like straight fluorocarbon. I'm gonna be throwing Sunline Sniper. Got a little bit of stretch to it, but that rod, I like a Cashin multi-purpose, either the Element Z2 or the regular Icon. They have a multi-purpose rod. It's a nice moderate, medium heavy, not too heavy, but heavy enough to get that hook set in there. There are times if I'm fishing heavy grass, I might go to straight braid, like straight 30-pound X Plasma, something like that. But typically I'll go straight fluorocarbon, really good hookup ratios. Another key to the lipless, high-speed reel, because you're gonna be yo-yoing it and you know, you're gonna be reeling it, having to reel it fast and get it off that grass, rip it off that grass. I like an 8-to-1. It's a 7GX, cast a mile, but you can get that thing dialed in there. 16 or 18-pound test is typically what I do. If I'm fishing grass a little deeper, I'll go down to like 16, or if I'm fishing, you know, 8 or 10 feet deep and yo-yoing off the bottom, I'll go to 16. If I'm trying to keep it up higher, I'll go to 18, maybe even 20. The 20-pound can be really good, but we got one little secret we're gonna give you right here. One little secret. I don't know if you saw it when I held the bait up earlier, but we got this little spinner blade on the back. So I mentioned yo-yoing it. Yo-yoing that thing is a great way to get bit on the lipless. But if you put this is a little Gamakatsu spinner blade, I'm gonna be experimenting with this on the back blade so that when I pull that thing, it's gonna shimmy. The blade's not really gonna affect that vibration, but when that bait is falling, you're gonna get that blade spinning on the fall. You never know what difference something like that might make, especially in off-colored water. So that's number 1. A lot of information for you on that one. That's number 1. But number 2, might go to a little more of an obvious one for this time of year for what's happening in 2026 and beyond. And that's the jig head minnow. The jig head minnow, if you have forward-facing sonar and you can isolate where the bait is in whatever lake you're fishing, smaller lakes, larger lakes, doesn't matter. Even in some river systems, if you can find where that bait is in the wintertime, fishing a jig head minnow above them is deadly. Absolutely deadly. It is not super easy, but you can absolutely do it. And I tell you, the key is finding that bait. You find that bait balls especially, you can see a couple dots around them. Take that Freedom Flyer, that's with the Missile Baits Freedom Flyer right here, eye roll jig head. That bait rolls real easy. That's part of the key. Take that bait. Depends on how deep they are. You know, a good standard is an 1/8 ounce or a 3/16. That's what most depths are going to be covered with on jig head wise. Take that thing, keep it above where the fish are. Once you get that jig head to above where the fish are, maybe 3 to 5 feet above the fish, just start reeling and shaking your rod at the same time. You'll see those fish come up. Once they start coming up, you want to kind of match their energy. So if you have that jig head above them, you start shaking it above them. If they start flying to it, you might want to start reeling it a little bit faster because they will get it even better. If they come up real slow, you might want to kind of stay slow with it, stay slow with that shake, and kind of match whatever reaction they're giving you. That is the way to do it. Color-wise, you want to have more of a natural one and more of the clear water. This is good all around. This is Tennessee shad, one of my absolute favorites. It's got that silver flash in the bottom, so as that bait rolls, you really get that two-tone flash going back and forth. Really good. You're going to stay a little bit heavier on the line than you might expect. 12, 14, or even 16-pound leader. You want about a 2-foot leader to 18-pound braid. That's the way to do it in some kind of medium fast rod. Medium heavy if you need to, but medium fast is all you really need, you know, action-wise with your rod. And then just have fun. Get it around a lot of fish, throw it as many of them as you can, make accurate casts. That thing is guaranteed to smack them in February. Bait number 3 is one that's a little bit different. Here's the curveball for you going into February. We're gonna go with the bladed jig, but this is just not any bladed jig. I think a lot of people have seen the grass piece come out recently. I'm hung up, look, I'm so excited talking about it. This is called the side piece. This is Pulse Fish Lures. It's a little more subtle of a vibrating jig. I took this thing to my dad's pond recently in the wintertime, and this color, exact color right here, spot remover, has that bright chartreuse. I think there was something about that brighter color. You can take it and fish it very slow. As this bait falls, a 1/2 ounce jig head, as it falls, whether it's the grass piece or this side piece, that blade is gonna shimmy on the way down. You can fish this bait very slow. You can just kind of crawl it on the bottom. You can pull it up and then let it go back down. But most of the bites we got in the wintertime on this bait was just kind of slow crawling it on the bottom. You can fish it slower than you do a chatterbait just by the way it's got like a little tiny spinnerbait arm on it. And man, just take any kind of shad color. The spot remover, definitely gonna be a good deal. Got the Freedom Flyer on the back. Just absolutely crawl that over top of the rocks, points, ditches, grass lines, some of the same places you're gonna be fishing that lipless. I would absolutely follow it up or even start with this type of a bladed jig. And I think in February, this combination is gonna be hard to beat. You got the A-rigs that are gonna still be working. You got your single swim baits that are still gonna be working. You're gonna have your shallow crankbaits, like all your little johns. All those baits are gonna be starting to work depending on your area. But these 3 right here are what I'm gonna start off with in the month of February. You take them out there, wintertime fishing. It might be snowed out where you are right now, but as soon as it gets to where you could go, now you know what to throw.